Welcome to Foosball Radio. It's Foosball Radio, the ultimate foosball podcast. Hey, welcome back. I'm Tom Robinson with Nino DiJohn and Chuck Dooley. This is officially our second episode, guys. How did we end up getting here?
You brought us here, Tom.
That's right, Tom. Thanks for bringing us along.
Well, okay. So here we are with our second episode. This one is entitled The Next Generation. And just to let you know what's going on for today, we've got a lot of things. First of all, we're going to get to some feedback, guys. Some things that people have written to us so far about the first episode. Want to share that with you. Then we're going to talk to some of the folks that are involved in the next generation, and adults, and of course the young generation children, shall we say, or the rising stars in foosball. We'll be talking to a whole group of those folks, including people like John O'Brien, Mark Drollette. We'll talk to Gabe Sisko, Sammy DiJohn, Hannah Yager, and a whole bunch of others. We're looking forward to this episode. We'll get to the feedback aspect of this in just a few moments. Before we do that, though, I would like to take a couple of seconds to mention our fourth teammate's name. He is Eric Sassino, and Eric is the guy who makes the magic, shall we say. So whenever you see something visual that applies to Foosball Radio, that's Eric. And he's not the guy on mic necessarily, but he's also the person who gets our voices out there for the podcast. He's the guru, the internet guru. But he is our fourth, shall we say, our fourth teammate on Foosball Radio, and thanks to Eric. So, guys, we'll be back in just a few seconds here to talk about the Foosball Radio feedback. That's coming next on the Ultimate Foosball Podcast. Foosball Radio, the ultimate foosball podcast. Hey there, it's Tom Robinson, executive producer and co-host of Foosball Radio, the ultimate foosball podcast. We truly hope you're enjoying the fruits of our labor. We are doing this because of the love and passion for the sport. Speaking of which, we're now offering a limited number of sponsor slots. Tailored to your foosball-based business, we can make you a member of our team. For more information on how to sponsor Foosball Radio, contact us at info@foosballradio.com. Let's work together to build foosball and the passion for the sport. That's info@foosballradio.com. And we are back. It is Foosball Radio, Episode 2. This episode is called The Next Generation. I'm Tom, along with Nino and Chuck. And, I got to tell you guys, it's absolutely amazing. We've gotten some really good feedback. And you know what? I don't think there's been any haters yet. Do you? Have we seen any haters?
No, not at all.
No haters.
Wow. Okay.
The foosball community is such a loving crowd. I mean,
yeah.
One big family.
Well, let's hope. But yeah, so in the meantime, what we'd like to do is take a few minutes here to recognize some of the folks who did write in with some great input. In fact, what I'd like to do is kick this off. A gentleman by the name of Thomas Dyke, who gave us took the time out to write a really thoughtful email. And I'll just read some excerpts here. But howdy all. Thomas said, just finished your first episode and was really impressed with the quality and professionalism. Obviously, having Tony come do the first show is a huge plus. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. His story was interesting and genuine, and you all did a great job guiding the conversation and providing interesting banter throughout. So here's some great stuff. He's giving us some feedback here. He says, some show topics I'd love to hear more about would be interviews from the various promoters around the country as to how they run their clubs on the local level, what's their format, what's worked, what hasn't, how they're doing things differently, and how they're catering to the newbies and pros alike with limited tables and group numbers. So, wow, this is great. This is awesome input. So, what do you guys think? I mean, you think we can get some promoters on?
I
don't see why we can't.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, you guys, technically, Chuck, you've actually done some promotion in your day.
No, we still do. We still run tournaments, Tom.
Yes, exactly. So
we need feedback from all the promoters, and we want to promote and learn.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what other clubs are doing to keep it alive, because we've experienced, right, in our area in the 518 Foosball Club, we've experienced the ebb and the flow, the interest that has come and gone, and some of it is great, and then there are other times when it's not so great. So
Sure.
What do you do? Tell us what you do. So, Nino, do you have another one you'd like to share with us?
I do. This is from Jesse Ray, Foosball Withdrawals out of Texas, Dallas,
Cool.
Texas. Jesse said, proud of you guys, and way to go on your first episode on your podcast. He says, looking forward to many more episodes. Hats off to the team.
Nice.
So that's some good feedback.
Jesse, thank you so much,
Yeah.
and we'll certainly be we'll be very mindful of your input.
Sure. Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. And Chuck, what do you have?
Well, we have one, and forgive me if I'm getting his name wrong. It's John DeRoyne.
Okay.
He says he really enjoyed the podcast, and you guys put on an awesome show. He's interested in a regular segment where we could feature a community, like different communities from around the country that are active in foosball. And he just says, keep up the good work.
Nice, nice, very cool. So this is the kind of thing, of course, we always love hearing praise. That's that feeding our egos here. This is what it's all about. But actually, in reality, we love the constructive criticism just as much, if not more. Don't get too brutal with us, but certainly, give us an idea as to how we can improve this for you, because Foosball Radio, in its concept, is telling the story of foosball one player at a time, but also one club at a time, if you will, because this country and beyond our country, of course, into Europe and Asia, it's all about the individual players who are playing in their local DYPs, participating in their clubs, and of course, finding out how to improve these things for everyone, so we can all benefit from the ideas that are out there and sharing them. So this episode is called The Next Generation, and so we're going to get into our interviews. We've got a whole bunch of them coming up. In fact, everybody from John O'Brien to Mark Drollette. We're also going to be speaking to some very young players who are part of the next generation, including Gabe Sisko, Logan Hearn, Koji Ybarra. We'll be hearing from Sammy DiJohn. I don't know, where did I hear that name before? Hannah Yager, Kyler LaRue. Just a sample of what's coming up very, very soon. And we'll get into that in just a couple of seconds. You are listening to Foosball Radio, the ultimate foosball podcast. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Tom Robinson, executive producer and co-host of Foosball Radio. The team and I are thrilled you're taking the time to listen to the ultimate foosball podcast. Promoting the sport and telling the story of foosball one player at a time is our mission. Truth be told, we can't go it alone. So we need your feedback and input. Please take the time to email us with your thoughts, ideas, and critiques. Yep, we can take it. We'll share your feedback on future episodes of Foosball Radio, the ultimate foosball podcast. Email us now at info@foosballradio.com. Yeah, welcome back. It's Foosball Radio. This is Tom Robinson with Chuck Dooley and Nino DeJohn. And this episode is all about the next generation. We're talking to people and, of course, kids about their experiences within foosball. And this is how actually we're going to be growing the sport in the very near future. And one of the bigger influences that we know of, especially in the New York State area, is a man by the name of Mark Drollette. And Mark happened to decide to take a little time out to talk to us about what he does in Plattsburgh, New York. Now, Mark, first of all, I want to welcome you to Foosball Radio.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. So, first of all, how long have you been working with kids in foosball?
So our club is in its fourth year right now.
And how did this all come about? I mean, I understand that you're a teacher in Plattsburgh, but when it comes to the idea of, I don't know, turning kids onto foosball, how did you get that idea?
Well, I've been playing foosball for a long time, and I'd actually been on a break, and a friend of mine invited me to go to the New York State tournament in 2015. I hadn't played in a long time, like maybe even 10 years.
Okay.
But, everyone tells me it's like riding a bike. So
is it like riding a bike?
Well, what happened was I went with my buddy Jim. He really wanted to play, so I went, and I had fun playing. But I noticed that there was a bunch of kids running around the tournament room and playing. There were probably 10, 12 kids, and I recognized them as middle schoolers because that's the age group that I work with.
Right.
So I started trying to figure out who had brought the kids, and everyone pointed to John O'Brien. So I started having a conversation with him and let him know that I was really excited to see all the kids playing,
right,
and that I was a teacher. And he hooked me up with Greg Mendel, and we went from there and I got a loaner table from them.
Oh, just a table you could use temporarily?
Yeah, so
okay.
And it went from just starting off with a couple of tables that Greg actually delivered to the school for me.
Cool.
And helped me set them up. And man, it took off from there.
Yeah, so you're a teacher, and how many years as a teacher?
I've been teaching for 10 years.
Nice. And what's the subject? What grade?
I'm in the middle school. I was an English teacher for about 3 years, and our budget was really tight. I lost that position, went back to school, and then got another certification in special education.
Oh, wow. So you have a busy day, to say the least.
Yeah, I do. Yep. Oh, well, I'm in Champlain. I live in Plattsburgh, but I teach in Champlain, New York.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So what I did was I just went and talked to my principal and told him I was interested in starting a club, and let him know that I was a player for a long time, and I emphasized the social aspect of the game.
Okay.
And how much I enjoyed, the interactions with the people, and I thought that it would be a good tool for the kids to kind of mix with each other.
Yes.
And he bought right into that, and as soon as we put the tables in, he was right on board. He jumped into the tables and started playing with the kids, and he recognized it as a way to kind of connect.
That's great.
With the students.
How many tables do you have now, Mark?
I have 8 tables in the middle school, and after the 8th graders moved up to the high school, our school is connected. The middle school and high school are connected. And it was funny because the kids really enjoyed the game, and they said, "Mr. Drollette, what are we going to do next year in high school? Oh my God." And I was like, well, talk to the principal, and if he says yes, I can help you find some tables to put up in the high school. So the club moved up with those 8th graders who are now, they're 11th graders now.
And
so there's 4 tables up there too.
And Mark, what kind of tables do you have there? Are there specific ones, or?
Yeah, so we started with fireball tables, and which are they're great tables. They're fun to play on. And what I like about them is they're bulletproof. They really stand up to hard play.
You can't bend those rods.
Yeah, you can't. There's a picture of Tony standing on the 2-rod. It's like
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. So we started with those, and it was funny. It was like only like a week, and I got a call from a parent, and he was just like, "Hey, my kids are playing foosball, and they're telling me that there's only 2 tables, and everyone's waiting to play. Is there anything I could do to help?" And
that's
he
good
was a
thing.
local.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. He was a local businessman, and he owned Beeline Trucking. And I said, "Well, we could use some money. The budget's really tight."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, how much would you need to get a couple more tables?" So I was reaching out and calling all different kinds of people trying to find tables, and we wound up getting a couple of Warriors and a Tornado. I found a used Tornado table, and so we went from 2 to 5 tables like right away. Like
wow,
within,
that's great.
A couple months. Yeah. So we have Fireball, a couple of. We got about 3 Tornadoes, a
nice.
couple of Warriors. We have a Garlando. We have 2 Bonzinis.
Bonzini.
We love the French table.
Oh,
yeah. We're so close to Montreal. I mean, it's about an hour trip up into Montreal, and there's a huge player base.
Yes.
Bonzini players in Montreal, and
you were just up there, weren't
great.
you?
Yeah, we went up for the Canadian Championships. I was
great.
able to bring a couple of kids from the club. We've been up there twice. The
How'd
first
you
time
do?
I was able to bring. The kids did great. The kids won. Liberty and Dakota won both juniors and the beginners division.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
Awesome.
They had a blast, and it was really fun to see them. They had a couple of great matches in the Open. They played together in the Open, and they went 5 games against a really tough team in the first round. It was
Great.
pretty
Kidding.
awesome.
No fear.
None.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great to watch.
So just give us an idea. What's the average age of the kids playing with you right now?
So I'm in the middle school most of the day. So they're 10 to probably 14 in the middle school.
Okay.
Maybe a 15-year-old here and there. And then there are quite a group of players up in the high school too. But I don't have that much time to make it up to the high school. But I do run events for them, and they mix. So I'll run an event on a Saturday.
Sure.
And they all get to play against each other on the weekends.
How many students are involved in this club?
Well, it's open to everybody who wants to play. Like I ran a dance last night, and there were probably 150 kids there from the school.
No kidding.
And I think we sold bracelets for the foosball tables just to kind of help raise some money. And we sold 50 bracelets. So there were 50
Really?
kids
Great.
playing foosball out of the 150.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool.
That's great.
That's a third of the population of the kids at the dance who wanted to play foosball.
Yeah, it was really cool, and they love it.
Can't beat that.
So how many people, Mark, from your middle school program that are in the high school are playing in the high school now?
I think it kind of drops off. I mean, like the younger kids are, they can focus on that right during the school day. And then as they get older, there's more sports, kids get jobs, girlfriends, boyfriends.
Girlfriends.
Girlfriends and boyfriends.
Yeah.
And we got quite a few girls that play.
Good.
Cool.
That's great.
But I mean, the serious players have stayed with it, like
Good.
the kids who really started to study the game and started to look at it as a sport and trying to figure out how to be more competitive, how to win. Those kids are still playing.
So
I'd say there's probably 20, 25 kids in the high school that are still pretty active.
how do you see the kids growing from foosball and learning from foosball? What do you see come out of that?
Oh man, I've seen, one of the things I've seen is just the confidence in some of my students, being able to, learn something. In the beginning, the athletes, like the hockey players and the soccer players, they kind of dominated. But as the kids who looked at the game and they were just like, oh wow, this is really fun, and had, the interest in it and started to practice, started to work on it, they started being the top dogs in the room.
Interesting.
They could hold the table.
Yeah.
So, it gave them a spot to, just watching them grow as kids. It's a great thing. I mean, you can see it. I've got girls that play huge. There's a 7th grader who looks like he could be a senior. And, he's standing at the table playing against a girl who's like just standing just over the edge of the table. And they have great battles.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it
great.
doesn't matter. They goes back and forth. Yeah.
Diversified.
It's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great that it brings all different kinds of people together. It's
That's some of my best moments watching these kids play. Is like as a teacher, you see there's cliques. You remember
Sure,
what high
sure.
school and middle school was like.
Yep.
So watching a group of kids around a table, you see the kid who's like maybe into sports, and you see another kid who you probably wouldn't expect to go out for the soccer team, but they're having conversations, and they're mixing
Interacting,
together.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
And they're not looking at their phones. Go figure.
No, they're not. Yeah, that's a great.
Talking about
That's
Fortnite?
Absolutely. They do still talk about it.
Boo.
That's one thing. One of my principal loves that. He says, this guy, he'll talk about one kid and he'll be like, he was always just staring at his phone in the morning. He's like, I haven't seen his phone out since those tables went in.
Nice.
That's
Yeah,
great.
so that's definitely a positive.
Hey, I've heard you talk about how this helps with attendance. Can you give us a little story about that?
And there is definitely one of my players missed a lot of school the year before actually the club was in existence, but he wasn't playing, and he missed. It was up to almost 40 days.
Wow.
And then the next year, he got to know me a little bit in the classroom, and he realized, hey, he's got a table. So we started playing a little bit, and he started coming to the tournaments, and he got hooked. And I looked at the attendance that year, and he had only missed one day that entire year.
That's from 1 year to the next?
Yep. And I talked to him, and I said, and he told me, he's like, yeah, foosball, man, it's the highlight of my day.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it is, it can be a double-edged sword because some of the kids, they love to play, and now the teachers are kind of dialing in on that, and they're starting to use it as like a punishment, taking it away from them. Like if you don't get your work, and it works for some of them, but it makes some of the kids mad. You know how they
right?
Sure.
Nobody likes to be punished.
Yeah, no.
Especially when it comes to playing foosball, man.
Yeah.
So, Mark, how do other people approach the schools to get these programs and in the schools and?
Oh yeah, it's Foosball Clubs USA it's an amazing organization. I mean, John O'Brien is doing such a great job. So he asked me to join him, and I jumped right in. I was like, yeah, I want to help. So I'm the New York State representative. So anybody who in New York who wants to try to get a program going can contact me. There's a webpage. It's foosballclubsusa.com.
Okay.
And there's tons of resources on that page, video that you can show to your administrators and let them know like how other schools are doing it.
Right.
There's tables that we can help them get, loaned out to get them started. And we are Foosball Clubs USA. We are looking for, other players in other states to, kind of join us and help keep this thing going.
Well, we're kind of hoping that maybe you getting the word out here is going to help motivate some people in these other states.
I'd love to see it in every state. I mean,
so
not New York State, every state.
Absolutely. Well, Cincinnati, they put a table, Cincinnati Foos. I've seen that. A table. It's pretty awesome, man. They put a table in a comic book store,
right?
And they got like a group of 10, 12 kids coming every week, and they're encouraging those kids to bring more kids. Yeah. And they're doing a great job.
That's a great avenue right there. Yeah, that's a great avenue.
It's a great place. It's such a good thing for kids to be doing.
Sure.
Creates all kinds of friendships, and it's really fun to see how the kids get to know each other.
And you guys are also holding an annual junior championship, correct?
Yeah, so we're going into our fourth one. We've had 3 of them, and John organized them, and I just kind of jumped in, and my kids love it. I mean, it's a blast. They really look forward to that competition, and he has it organized. We do a team event, so there's team, singles, and doubles, and there's 2 divisions, 7th grade and under, and then 8th grade and up. So but you can choose to play up if you want. I think Sam might be playing up, right, Nino?
Sam plays up. Yes, he does. Yeah. Well, he's still 10, so he can do both. But no, he plays up with the big boys.
Yeah. No, it's
pretty awesome to watch.
So when it comes to your current squad, how many students?
I would guess, I mean, like during lunch, I've got 2 lunch periods where the kids play, and the younger kids, there's probably 40 6th graders playing.
Wow, 40.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got 7 tables in the lunchroom, so
man.
There's
so eat lunch or play foosball. Hey, what do you do?
Yeah, actually, they do. They closed the tables because there were problems.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So we have a 10-minute period where they have to sit down and eat lunch before they can play.
Cool. I've got to say, when I was growing up, when I was in school, the weekends it couldn't come quick enough, so I could go play foosball and go to a tournament.
Yep.
Yeah.
So eating lunch and playing foosball.
Let's go without the food. It's okay.
That's like paradise. You don't have to wait for the weekend.
That's right.
It's there every day.
Yeah, they get to play in the morning at my school too, so they can come in at 8:15 and they get to play for almost an hour before school starts.
Nice.
There's probably a group of about 10 or 15 kids that take advantage of that.
So, Mark, this is, first of all, we want to thank you for spending time with us on Foosball Radio. This is an amazing thing that you're doing. And yes, if there's any way possible, Foosball Radio can help you not only promote what you're doing, in your area, but also help other schools get involved with this. Because here's something that just is off the top of my head. Wouldn't it be cool if schools would travel, sort of like the track team, to compete against other schools? Throughout the state, interscholastic competitions.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We have they did an article. The local newspaper did something on our club, and another teacher in Plattsburgh, so that's about 25 minutes south of our school, saw it. He contacted me, and I was able to help him. That's Alan Pizzell, and he started a club at Plattsburgh High School.
Nice.
And he secured funding for 4 tables at the high school, and then he actually there was another teacher at the middle school who heard about it, so now he's got a club in the middle school as well.
Wow.
So there's probably about 4 or 5 schools in my, like, a half an hour radius of my school that have tables now.
Yeah. No,
it's definitely getting big.
Got to spread this, right? So it's this
absolutely.
is key. This is congratulations, by the way, on your success.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's easy for me, man. I love the game, and I love seeing the kids enjoy the tables, so it wasn't hard for me to do.
I got to tell you, because we have a lot of regional tournaments here in the Albany area with our Smashdown, as you know. I got to say, the times that I've enjoyed that tournament the most is when you bring a truckload of kids.
When the bus shows up.
I mean, it makes it so much more exciting. There's so much more going on, and people are just having a great time, and it's just, it really adds to the whole event.
Well, they definitely have a lot more energy than us adults.
Yeah.
In between matches, we're sulking over in the corner, and they're running around having a blast.
Exactly. Incidentally, are you coming to our next Smashdown?
I'm not going to be able to make it, but I know there's a bunch of kids who are planning, and they're talking to the parents and like organizing rides right now. Like Gabe is really talking about it.
Good.
I know Liberty's interested, so I'm sure there will be a group of the NCCS kids making an appearance for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. So one more time for me, Mark, the website where people can contact you.
Foosballclubsusa.com.
It's working.
It doesn't have to be in the school all the time either, does it?
Absolutely. Boys and girls clubs, YMCAs, all those spots.
Yes.
There's tables out there. There's special pricing programs, and if they contact Foosball Clubs USA, we can hook them up with those.
Cool.
So
that's great.
Yeah. It is. It's a great organization.
So, Mark, this is just the first of many conversations we hope to have with you in the future on Foosball Radio. And please, if there's anything that you'd like us to talk about in the very near future when it comes to upcoming tournaments and things that you want to tell us about as far as news is concerned, please don't hesitate.
Absolutely, man. You guys are doing a great job. Thanks. I'll be steering people towards the podcast for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It.
Thanks, guys.
Next, we speak to Mark Drollette's mentor and the creative force behind FoosballClubsUSA.com. It's John O'Brien.
It started in 2015.
Okay.
And so we have a website. It's just FoosballClubsUSA.com.
Okay.
And folks can go out there. We've got a how-to page for people who are interested in, how do I even approach my school?
So you give them the blueprint on how to get into the school, get the kids active and things like that?
Yes, what happened was after I reflected on what I did with my own school and then talked to other teachers, Mark Drollette was he was the second school that started a foosball program. So the first in New York State was mine, and then the second was Mark's. We ran into each other at an Albany foosball tournament that Kevin Westcott headed up, and he wanted to start a foosball program. And we had not even started contacting schools outside of my own area. And so he was a ready-made situation, and he needed a table because his school had no money for a table, but he was there. And that's really the most important thing, having somebody in the school who's willing to spearhead the program.
You need a mentor. You really do need a mentor.
Yep.
You can't just drop it off and expect great things to happen.
It's not like we're selling schools a product that they're already buying.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the value of foosball in the life of their students.
Right.
And so you need someone who's going to shepherd it into the school. And I'll tell you right now, we've got 6 or so programs in New York State, and no 2 are exactly alike. Some are after-school programs.
Right.
That's what mine started as. Now we have an after-school program, a lunch program. We hold monthly tournaments. Mark's started as a foosball club and then a lunch program, but they don't have after-school. Although he gets together with his students informally before and after school. We have another fella over in Wayne County, and he's just a tech teacher like myself, and he's got a foosball table in his room, and students come down and they play down there, but there's nothing official. There's another school in Sodas that they just picked up 2 used tables from me, and they run an after-school program. So you just have to have somebody to shepherd the program through and explain to the administration the value that foosball can have for their school.
Right.
What's the value you see at your school, John? What are the results you're seeing?
There's so many, and the most important one was the one that I wasn't even anticipating at first. We have a whole array of students at my school that play. I mean, these are active kids, they're sports kids, they're choir, they're band, but the group of students that I'm most excited about are those who are not involved in anything else that the school offers.
Right.
Because it's that student who we're actually providing something meaningful to that student.
Right.
Because whatever the school was doing, they weren't reaching that student. And there's something about foosball, and if you talk to a foosball player, there's just something about that draws, a kid to the table.
Yes.
And all of a sudden they're hooked. It's their team, it's their club, it's their home, really.
Yeah.
For some of my students, it's their home away from home.
Sure.
I have 2 tables in our cafeteria at my school, and I have 2 tables in my own technology lab. And I'll have 20, 25 students every day after school in my lab during activity period, and they're family. They
Right.
know they can come down and they connect with the kids. And the other thing that I found is it's an entryway into the life of a student, because at that point I'm not their teacher anymore. I'm like their coach,
Yes.
their mentor, and there's so much character development that takes place. Sportsmanship and learning how to win well and lose well and interact. And as you guys know, foosball, there's a real culture of congeniality and sportsmanship and the ready protocol and congratulating your opponent, and we emphasize that.
It's a sport,
some of the
sure.
players, they're not involved in other sports, and so they're not getting that kind of feedback. And so it's just so many life lessons that I've been pleasantly surprised, seeing developing in the kids' lives. And parents are seeing it too.
Yeah.
That's
when
huge.
We first started when we first started in 2015, I felt like awkward asking if these students could go to a tournament, 2 hours, 3 hours away.
Right.
But now I'm taking kids to Kentucky to Worlds.
Really?
I'm taking kids 5 hours away to Champlain to play against Mark Drollette kid. And parents, as soon as I ask them, oh, absolutely, yes. So they'll be there.
So the parents understand what it's doing for the kids too.
They are seeing the value.
Cool.
Results, yeah.
Well, there's one fellow who started the very first year that we started our after-school program. It was 2012. And we had a fellow who was in 5th grade. His name was Kevin Paul. And so you guys already know him. And Kevin was a 5th grader, and he was one of these loner kids. Hood up, kind of, didn't have too many friends. very kind of socially awkward, and his parents will tell you the same thing. And Kevin took to foosball, and just every time I turned around, he was there.
Huh.
Every time the door was open, he was there. And his mom, when I asked if he could go with me to these tournaments, she said yes, because there's nothing that Kevin was drawn to other than video games.
Wow.
So foosball came along. And then Kevin, he played so well and so much, and performed so well that he was invited to play on Team USA.
Yeah,
really?
Swimming,
Yeah.
Wow, that's astounding.
And so this kid's life has changed because of his association with this game, foosball.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Wow. That's quite a success
And
story.
he's a senior now. He's a senior in school now, and is still playing.
So John, when it comes to students like that, how often do you see them actually set their phones down now to play foosball?
Well, at our tables, I mean, like I said, during lunch, we have 2 tables going at lunch, and they can't eat at the table. They can't be on the phone at the table, and so I'll have like 20 students at the table. It's so crowded during lunch.
That's a good thing.
They have to play 3-point games.
3-point
because
games.
Because there's so many kids, everybody's got to get a turn.
There's so many students that want to play.
Time for some more tables, John.
well, we don't have. Oh, I would love to, but we just don't have room in our lunchroom.
Right.
I had to kind of, beg and borrow and promise the administration that I would be there supervising, because sometimes this administration just doesn't fully appreciate
the value of it,
what impact it has.
Sure.
And so you have to kind of demonstrate to them. And so now a number of our principals are saying, okay, not only do students play, but they're well behaved.
Yeah.
At the table, they're well behaved. They're policing themselves. They're monitoring themselves. They're mentoring the newer players. And
Cool.
So, yes, those 30 kids that gathered around the table during lunch, they're not on their phone.
So when new players come up and they want to get on the table, what are the rules that you explain to them when they first get on the table?
Well, what's exciting is when we first started the program, I was the only player, and all the kids were new. And so the learning was sort of slow, and only a few really took to heart the fact of, passing, catching, developing a shot, being patient. Now I really don't do much. I still teach in my after-school program the brand new kids, but during lunch, it's the other players
that are teaching,
active players,
Sure.
who are teaching one another.
Cool.
They're teaching the new kids.
That's
they're
even better.
stopping, they're
Yeah.
explaining.
The trickle-down
spinning, how to
effect.
pass. Oh, it's wonderful. It's just the learning curve
Sure.
has just changed.
And they
I'm
understand
astounded.
that there's rules to the game. It is
There's rules. There's skill development.
absolutely. It's a sport.
Yes.
Kids
Yep.
learn more by
And-
watching other kids than they do by listening to adults tell them what to do.
Right.
Well, and then what's really fun is when students come in to say, hey, I went out onto YouTube and I watched Ryan Moore and Tony Spreaderman, and I watched the matches. And, wow! And I'm going to try doing what they do. It's
Sure.
Like, okay.
Do you have videos that the kids can watch of the pros? Do you ever play videos for them?
I do, but they beat me to it.
Oh,
YouTube, it's out there.
With
Yeah.
access to the internet, they're going out there watching, games on their own.
Sure.
Coming in and telling me about it.
oh, okay,
Sure.
okay. No need to show them videos. Man,
It's
that's
all over the internet.
The motivated students are going and finding it on their own.
Yeah.
There's another fellow. He started with me in 6th grade, and he's a junior now. And he got away from foosball for a couple of years, but now he's just got back into it this year. And he waits for his dad to pick him up at 6 o'clock every day. So he's after school, and for about 2 hours, he's on the table by himself, working on his passing game, his shooting game.
Great.
And he's just working. I mean, it's like a sports team for him.
I bet he's seeing a difference how much
he's
better
just
he's getting.
motivated. Oh,
Yeah.
his control is getting so much better. And he's one fella who I can point to and say, hey, this guy here, he was part of the first program, and now he's still playing.
Yes.
I say, and that's the exciting thing to see how many students are continuing to play. They started at 5th and 6th grade, and now they're juniors and seniors, and they're still playing, and they're even more excited about it.
Right.
It's a great investment.
No, it's a win-win-win-win-win.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So John, first of all, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out. I know that you pulled off to the side of the road to talk to us for this interview, but yeah, I think this is again an ongoing conversation we'll continue to have, and by all means, let us know if there's something in the very near future that we can help you out with and bring you back on.
I'm excited for the reach that your program is going to have, and for the way that it's going to motivate players to kind of, like I said, take this, like your broadcast is promoting this time of taking this to the next generation.
Right,
absolutely,
right indeed. Thank you so much for your compliments, and
yes.
we hopefully will not let you down.
Well, hey, we're all in this together for
That's
the
right.
good of the kids, the good of the sport.
Absolutely,
Yes, absolutely. So we've been talking to John O'Brien of Foosball Clubs USA and the USTSO. John is one of the driving forces when it comes to youth foosball. So happy to have John as a guest on Foosball Radio. John, yet again, I want to thank you for being with us, and we look forward to talking to you again very, very soon.
Great. Thank you all.
Hi, I'm Tom Robinson, executive producer and co-host of Foosball Radio. The team and I are thrilled you're taking the time to listen to the ultimate foosball podcast. Promoting the sport and telling the story of foosball one player at a time is our mission. Truth be told, we can't go it alone, so we need your feedback and input. Please take the time to email us with your thoughts, ideas, and critiques. Yep, we can take it. We'll share your feedback on future episodes of Foosball Radio, the ultimate foosball podcast. Email us now at info@foosballradio.com. Yes, it's Foosball Radio, and we are back for our second episode, which is called The Next Generation. Now, this particular episode, we're talking to those who are up and coming when it comes to this industry, getting into the sport. They're shall we say, the rising stars. And on the phone with us right now, we're very honored to have one of those rising stars. His name is Gabe Sisko. So, Gabe, welcome to Foosball Radio.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So, Gabe, just give us an idea here. How this whole thing about foosball and you, when did it all start?
Well, it started, I was in 8th grade, and there were fireball tables that were put into our school.
Okay.
By Mr. Drollette. He plays foosball quite a bit.
We know his name, yes.
What school was that, Gabe?
It was NCCS up in upstate New York.
Which NCCS stands for?
Northeastern Clinton Central School District. They started off with 2 fireball tables, and you could play during lunch in the mornings. And
Nice.
I really took to it right away. At first, it was kind of different because he said the first rule is no spinning, and that kind of
Defeats the purpose, right?
Yeah.
Well,
so
there
it's
goes
like-
my whole game, you're thinking, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So when you started playing, they had a set of rules you had to go by to play.
Yeah. There were like 3 main rules he started teaching us. It was no talking when the ball's in play, no spinning, and touch 2 guys before you start. And
Okay.
That was pretty much how we started.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then as you played more, he would teach you more rules and so on and so forth.
Gotcha.
So just to give me an idea, give us an idea as to other friends that were also getting interested at the same time. Anybody else that, like your close circle that were getting into it as well as you?
Yeah, I had a few friends playing, like Spencer Trudeau. He plays quite a bit. Jacob Littner, and then eventually we got Mason to play.
Nice.
So it was a big group of friends we could all play. It was a lot of fun.
Now, I know you've gotten a little more serious than some of the other kids at the school. You've come to some of our events and played in that. You've played in other events in the New York area. And you recently went to the World Championships, didn't you?
Yeah, I did 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Wow.
That's it.
What'd you think of that?
Yeah. Oh, it was the best. It really got me going. That was the biggest point.
And so when it comes to the World Championships, how did you do?
I think my best placement, I got 13th in beginner singles,
Nice.
Well, that's great.
and I got a 3rd place in the Wednesday DYP.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Who are you playing with for the DYP?
I was playing with an amateur player. I think his name was Bryce Woodrich.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
think.
Yeah.
Third
Lost
place.
to Nino.
Oh,
His partner. Got,
Oops. Reno.
sorry about
How
that.
dare you?
I don't know that
Yeah.
guy.
Beating up on little kids. Jeez.
Oh, I know. Great.
Speaking of
You had
which,
to throw that in there, didn't you?
just give us a perspective. How old are you right now, Gabe?
I'm 16.
Oh, nice. Okay. So did you get your license yet? Have you started driving?
Yeah, I got my permit in August.
Oh man, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I still remember my poor dad taking me out for driving lessons. Do your parents teach you how to drive?
Oh yeah, sadly, it's heated.
How'd that go?
It's going.
It's going good.
Way not to incriminate yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
They're gonna continue teaching you now.
So
Yeah.
what's the car you drive?
Well, I drive my mom's minivan. Kia.
Oh, minivan.
That's
Oh,
all
well,
right.
yeah,
So if you
that's
hit
okay.
something, that's that's
Okay,
good.
so I'm a car guy, so I got to know the question. I have the question for you. If, let's say, money were no object, what would you be driving right now?
Oh, I don't know. I like Chargers and Challengers a lot.
Wow,
Nice.
there you go.
There you
Dodge.
go. You have something with a little bit
Yeah.
of beef, perhaps?
Oh yeah.
So, Gabe, back to foosball.
Yes.
What's your next tournament?
Hopefully the Thanksgiving tournament, the Smashdown in Albany.
Nice.
Great,
That was
yeah.
the correct answer, by the way.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And do you have a partner in mind? Do you have somebody you're going to be bringing with you?
I do not at the moment.
Okay. Well, maybe one of us will be lucky enough to
Yeah,
play with you that
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so, what are your goals when it comes to foosball? What would you like to achieve as a foosball player?
Well, I always like to win. That's my biggest thing.
Good.
I don't like to lose. That's
Uh-huh.
my biggest
I don't think anybody does, Gabe. Yeah.
Yeah. I really wanted to go to the Worlds this past year, so I kept practicing all summer, and I really wanted to win beginner singles. I thought that would have been
Yes.
Yeah.
a big step for me.
Hey, that's a great
But
goal.
unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, but
Well,
hopefully
This
I
year.
can get to
yeah.
a tour stop and win beginner singles and
Okay.
move up to rookie.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Now you play in
Awesome.
other sports, don't you?
Yeah.
What do
I
you
run
compete?
cross country, I bowl, and I play baseball.
All competitive.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
do you think the difference between those competitive sports and foosball is? Is there a difference?
Well, foosball, it's like I'm standing here and my partner's on the other side, or like the opponent's on the other side of the table, and we're like right next to each other. It's
Uh-huh.
it's it's almost like you're right on top of him the whole time. You can hear him breathing sometimes, and there's a lot of more mental in foosball when you're thinking about your opponent and what he's going to do next and what I'm going to do next.
Right. Being 16 and thinking about this aspect of foosball is pretty astounding, especially since most people your age are spinning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's astounding.
Yeah, I beat up on the baseball team.
Hey, that's okay. That's all right.
It's
Yeah.
the great equalizer. You want to mess with me? Let's go play foosball. I'll show you how to do this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, ultimately speaking, when it comes to foosball, do you think you'll ever be, you want to be an expert pro, that kind of thing?
I would love to be, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the end goal.
And who do you aspire to? What name? Give us a name of somebody that you watch a lot.
I watch Tony all the time.
Is Tony your
All
favorite
the
player?
time.
Yeah, Tony's
Obviously.
great.
I like them all. Honestly,
Yeah.
Tony's great. Ryan's great. But Tony was great because at the World 2 years ago, he had a one-on-one lesson with me for an hour.
That's
Wow.
great. Yeah.
One of the
Really?
coolest
Tony's
moments
great
of that.
like that. Yeah.
Man, how cool is that?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, especially at
That was
this
so
level,
cool.
right? No kidding.
Yeah.
No, it's truly amazing. So, okay, now when it comes to foosball, what do we need to do as far as a group of people who play? How do we get more people like yourself, more kids involved in this sport?
Well, I think schools, that's a big thing.
Yep.
And just more than schools, maybe putting something in a hockey rink. That's what we tried to do.
Okay.
Because everyone goes to this hockey rink and they play. So if we could get something in that hockey rink or something like that, so that there's always a
good
table
point.
there. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just there.
No,
Yeah.
great
So they go
idea.
and play. They're drawn to it.
So you
and
have
hopefully they pick it up.
you have a table in a hockey rink now, or
We
is-
wanted to. We tried
Oh, I
to.
gotcha.
We're trying to get tables out to more locations than just our school. So
Good.
hopefully we
What's
can get
what's
other
the
players.
holdback, Gabe?
It's I don't know. We're working on it.
Is it the
Yeah.
owner of the hockey rink? I mean,
Yeah, they didn't catch to it really.
No.
That's the biggest thing. We tried to put one in a bar, or not a bar, but it's a local restaurant that had room, but
Right.
they didn't catch to it. They say pool makes more money.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just keep trying, right? Keep trying to find a place that that wants to do it up, and
Yeah.
you just never know.
Well,
You
it's the
never know.
education and, educating the owners and what's behind foosball. I mean, that's very important to it than the money. I mean, as being a business owner, everybody wants to make money, but a long-term goal, that can be had.
Sure.
So,
Yep. So when it comes to showing other kids how to play, do you think you'd like to be like an ambassador, somebody who shows other kids your age how to play?
Oh yeah, I love to. Like, I have a study hall 5th period, and that's the period that the younger kids eat lunch.
Yep.
So I'll go in with a couple. I'll go, like, Austin Barcombe comes with me, and Mr. Drollette comes with me, and we go in and we play with them, teach them quite a bit.
Nice.
Yeah, there's some kids that they really want to learn, and there's some kids that just are there to play, and I think that's great too.
Sure.
You got to have both of everything.
We need people that just want to have fun also. It's not all competitors.
Yeah, absolutely. People just are interested in the basic rules and go to town.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, Gabe, this has been fantastic. You taking the time to talk to us. And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, sure. In Foosball Radio, we have an open door policy. So if there's ever anything that we can help you with or you'd like to talk to us about, please let us know, and we'd be more than happy to have you back on the show.
All right, thank you.
Foosball Radio, the ultimate foosball podcast. It's Foosball Radio. I'm Tom with Chuck and Nino, and we are on with another one of our next generation players. In fact, this entire episode is devoted to the next generation. So we're very honored, all the way from Mississippi, to have Logan Hearn on the phone with us. Logan, welcome.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
So, Logan, first of all, how long have you been playing foosball?
For about 7-8 years.
Wow, 7-8 years. And you are now how old?
16.
16, great. And so where typically do you play out on a regular basis?
Around here, there aren't really many tournaments, so my only tournaments are the big ones.
Big ones are good. Big ones are good.
Do you have anybody that you play with on a regular basis at their house or something?
Yeah, my dad will play games every now and then.
So is it your dad that got you into this?
Yes, sir.
Are you considered a second-generation foosball player? Your dad was a pro?
Yes.
So when it comes to Mississippi, the state itself, what kind of tournaments do you guys have around there?
We actually just started getting one tournament back that was stopped in like 2005, and then it's just one main tournament.
The Mississippi States that just happened last weekend, correct?
Yes, sir.
How'd you do?
I got third in amateur doubles. I got
Nice.
Yeah.
fifth in rookie doubles, and then I played goalie wars for the first time and ended up winning that.
Wow.
You won Goalie Wars?
Congratulations. Awesome. Good job.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
So very curious to know what are your plans for the near future as far as being a foosball player? What goal do you have for yourself for the next year?
My goal is to basically just progress as much as I can because I'm limited to tournaments and really good players.
Right. So give us an idea. What is your routine when it comes to practicing? Do you practice each day?
Yes, I'll try to practice every now and then, but with so much stuff going on, I hadn't been able to practice as much as I can
Sure.
and as I should be because I've been slam-packed with a whole bunch of stuff.
School?
But every time I get a chance to practice, it's there.
Something
Good.
gets in the way, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just something you have to force. You have to get yourself to the table and
Sure.
make it happen.
Sure.
So quick question for you, Logan. What other sports do you play?
I am the co-drum major for our band, and I am the top runner for our cross-country team.
Wow.
Nice.
Excellent.
Very
Excellent.
cool.
What's your favorite of the three?
That's
a trick question, huh?
They're all the same.
Yeah,
huh?
I don't have a favorite. They're all up there.
So cross country track is underway right now, I take it.
Our state is Monday.
Oh, wow.
Our state championship.
Wow.
Good luck. Yeah, good luck at it.
So tell us about the high school that you go to. Do you have a lot of students there? Are there a lot of, you have a big class?
Most of our classes at Florence just really range from about 20 to 30. We're not that big of a school.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of kids at our school.
All right.
Is there a table in your school? Do you have any foosball there?
No, sadly. We ended up trying to get one my 8th grade year, but if we would have put it at the middle school, I would have had less than a year to get it.
Got it.
I wouldn't trust a foosball table at our school just because people can't go without destroying the bathrooms. I'd hate to see what happened to a foosball table.
That's too bad.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, right? That's one of those realities you have to face. And is Florence, do you think, big enough a place to get a couple of tables in place in maybe a local YMCA or club, some kind?
We're actually in progress of building a spinners.
Oh.
It's going to be a bowling alley, and one of my dad's friends is talking about putting some tables in there.
Oh, that'd be great.
Very nice.
So out of all the big tournaments you go to, what's your favorite one?
Tornado Championships.
The Worlds. Yeah.
As I call it. Yeah, I call it Worlds.
Yeah.
And how many worlds have you gone to so far?
Got to count them on all
5
your
or
fingers.
6.
5 or 6. Wow.
I've heard you had some pretty good results at the Worlds too, huh?
Mm-hmm. Every now and again I'll get something.
Let's say you're 10 years older. Right now you're 16. Let's say you're 26. Are you still going to be playing this game?
Oh, more definitely. Don't plan to ever drop it.
Okay.
That's great.
Because it's a way for me to, I guess you would say, vent and just clear my mind.
Sure.
And to have fun at the same time.
We totally understand.
Yeah, man. We get that. We get that addiction thing. It's like you have to live in the moment when you're on the table.
Your favorite players that are on the tour, your top players. What you have any favorites?
Definitely Terry for sure.
Sure. Sure.
I look up to him a lot. Of course, my dad's up there.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just because.
Because he's your dad. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have to say Ryan Moore, Tony Spreedeman, and Robert Mares.
Nice.
You go. Yeah.
Good choices.
Yeah.
Yep. Excellent. So, Logan, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us, man. This has been fantastic. We're hoping that we get a chance to see you in the Great Northeast sometime for a tournament.
Okay.
Logan Hearn from Mississippi on Foosball Radio, part of the next generation. And thank you again, Logan, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
This is Foosball Radio. I'm Tom Robinson with Chuck Dooley and Nino DiJohn. This episode is called The Next Generation. And we have a great honor to be speaking to one of the next generation, a rising star out of Texas. And his name is Koji Ybarra. And Koji, we want to welcome you to Foosball Radio.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So give me an idea how long you've been playing this game.
So I've been playing for a little over 2 years now.
Okay.
My first tournament was 2016 Texas State.
Nice.
Texas State.
Wow. So how exactly did you get into foosball to start with?
So as a little kid, my grandpa, he had a foosball table, and we used to always play, for fun. And as a kid, I didn't know about tournament foosball. I just played with him for fun, and he was pretty good. I mean, in my eyes, I thought he was like super good.
Sure.
Everybody I'd seen, he would beat. So,
right.
No doubt.
Played, and I'm very competitive, and so I always wanted to beat him. And,
Your grandfather, you mean?
Yeah.
So you're beating up on your grandfather. Great.
Well, he used to beat up on me a lot.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
we
it's
want
a
to
revenge thing, huh?
Yeah.
Kept on trying to play him.
Yeah. So he was taking you to the woodshed on a regular basis when it came to foosball.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your grandfather, what's his level of play? Was he a pro?
No, so he was just like, we would play for fun as a little kid, and he wasn't ranked. He said he played in a couple tournaments back in the tournament soccer days.
Yes.
Okay.
But not really like a pro level. Like he played in a couple tournaments just for fun. But since I had that background, I had an interest in it, and I was, decently coordinated, and I kind of knew the basics. And so Warren Van Landingham was the guy who really got me into it, though.
Interesting. Okay.
So Warren's kind of your mentor?
Yes, and he's a master right now.
He's from your area, obviously. Yeah.
Yes. So how I met him was actually through my sister's soccer team. He's a dad of a little girl on my sister's soccer team, which my dad coaches, and he's the one who invited me to Texas State the first year.
So your sister, she's an up-and-coming foosball player too, right?
Yeah.
And how old is she?
She's 9 years old.
She's 9. Okay.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Future star.
Absolutely.
Got to start early. I mean, if she stays in it as long as you have, you might have a lot of competition with her.
Yeah, she has a lot of potential.
That's great. That's what we want to hear, yeah.
So what do you do on a daily basis to practice? Is there anything specific you'd like to mention?
Usually, like before a tournament, I'd say about a month before, that's when I really start to narrow down and start really focusing on my tournament practice.
Sure.
And I'm a very, I like to train, so I don't get bored with the monotonous stuff that most people would.
Okay.
Just doing 100 passes in a row and 100 shots in a row. I'll usually do.
It's dedication.
And so, my practice usually consists of just repetition.
That's the best way to practice, repetition over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, to sit there and do 100 of the same pass is pretty hard. To stay focused.
Right.
But that's how you get better.
Yeah, that is. Do you have tournaments, weekly tournaments that you go to? What's your foosball scene there in Texas?
Yeah. I live in Dallas area, so a really good local promoter. His name's Jason Wicks.
Okay.
And Brittany Sersosimo, she's his girlfriend, and they do a really good job. They hold weekly tournaments Tuesday and Friday every single week, pretty much.
Cool.
Wow.
The only time they won't hold a tournament is if there's a major tournament that they're at. But
okay.
even
What kind
if
of
it's the day after, they'll go and hold it.
What kind of turnouts do you get at your tournaments?
So we usually get a range from 16 to 24 people.
Wow.
That's
Friday
nice.
nights.
That's great.
Tuesdays are usually a little bit lighter, so maybe 12 to 20 people.
Jeez.
It can be off and on.
For a Tuesday night, that's not bad.
No, that's Tuesday nights are tough when you got to get up for school the next day too, right?
Sure.
And how does your mom and dad feel about that, going to Tuesday nights? What time you guys usually wrapping up on Tuesday nights?
So how the tournaments are ran here are they have a bunch of preliminary rounds similar to the Swiss format, and then if you're in the top cut, then you make it into the final bracket. It's called the elimination bracket.
Right.
And so if you don't make the cut, then you'll probably be done around 11. But if you do make the cut, then it's going on midnight to 1.
Ooh.
And so
That's a long tournament.
And so it gets pretty late. And so that's why we usually won't go to the Tuesday tournament unless it's right before a major tournament.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Need the practice. The Friday tournaments, they're held later, and we'll usually go to those.
Sure. You don't have to get up the next day.
Right. So I'm wondering, Koji, what's your favorite shot up front up the 3-row? What do you like to shoot?
So I shoot a rollover.
Okay.
I can't shoot a pull shot.
Okay.
You just have to do 100 of them every day. 100 pull shots. 100 pull shots.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys have heard of Dustin Gatliff.
Sure.
But he created a really neat program that I use to train my rollover. He has a file of it, so I have it on my devices. It's not public, I don't think. But basically, what it does is you can set a time range, and it'll say it will start a beat for when the time starts, and then it'll randomly tell you a side to go and a side to shoot.
Wow, that's pretty
awesome.
good. That's a nice tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of nice teaching videos too.
So, your favorite tournaments, major tournaments? You have a couple?
Yeah, so my favorite tournaments are definitely Texas State.
Sure.
Because it's local. It's
Sure.
It's a good, big tournament, too. There's a lot of players. You get to see some of the local players do well, and you can root for them.
Yeah.
But my probably favorite one out of state would be Nationals. Just because I feel like I felt like the times that I've went, I've performed the best at that tournament.
Great.
Wow.
And the nationals are where, Koji?
In Louisiana.
Okay. Yeah.
Right outside of New Orleans.
Sure.
A city called Kenner, I think.
Sure.
There's a lot of good tournaments out there in a year.
Sure,
So we're coming up on 2019. How many tournaments do you want to hit this year?
All of them.
So my first, I wish all of them, but realistically,
Yes.
hopefully I'll go to the Bardo. That's a good tournament held in Austin.
Yep.
And then the next one after that, hopefully, will be the Hall of Fame Classic in Las Vegas.
Nice.
I haven't been to that one yet, but it attracts a lot of international players, which
Sure.
that sounds really cool. Then after that, it would be Texas State, I think, held in Dallas. And then in the summer, I hope to go to the World Cup in Murcia, Spain.
So Koji, just tell us who are your favorite players? Give us like the top three.
Obviously, Tony. He's the number one ranked player right now. I try and model my game off of him.
Okay.
It's not easy. I've been practicing. And there's some things that he does that are just like, I find almost like a genius level. Like he's perfected the game.
Sure.
And then Tommy Yore, he's only a pro right now, but I'm sure
Only a
all
pro.
the top players will agree that. Well, compared to like how his finishes have been recently,
Right.
I feel like he's definitely playing at a master level. He's
Sure.
consistently
He'll get there
placing in
soon.
the top 10.
Yeah.
And he has like a lot of tenacity on the table and like a ferociousness, like
Sure.
not like a condescending manner, but a very like passionate. And
Sure.
I like to watch him play and learn from him. And then,
Well, that's
I mean,
like
I
watching
guess-
Tony, correct?
yeah, it's very similar. They're
Very similar.
So two
yeah.
of your top players are the same player?
Similar. I
Yeah.
like to really focus on the differences. Though,
Yeah,
because
no,
People always
that's-
talk about the similarities. And then to balance it out, I really like to look at Warren. He got me into the game, and he's really got a unique play style. A lot of the top players, they'll play, and it's more of the singles format. They use the table management, and they're really good at controlling the table. While Warren really provides a good like rod-to-rod viewpoint on the game.
Sure.
If he has it on this rod, that's all he's thinking about, and he has very high execution and high completion rate. And
Right.
you can learn a lot from that too.
Sure.
Because you can have all these ideas, but if you never execute them, then they won't be useful.
Wow,
He's a good player.
You know, Koji, you have an astute understanding of this game, even at the age of 16. I'm very impressed by your knowledge.
Thank you.
So, one more question for you: what is your ultimate goal within the next year? Let's say, where would you like to be?
So the last time the juniors went to the World Cup, they, not saying they did bad, because I know the competition is really hard out there, but they were younger and they had way less experience. I mean, Sullivan since then has won a Open World Championship,
Sure.
which is, you can tell she's grown a lot. And I hope this next year that we can at least put up a good result. And I mean, I haven't seen the competition yet, really, so
Sure.
obviously I'd like to place, but I hope that we just do good, on our skill level.
We wish you luck with that.
Yeah, I'd love to see you on the podium up there.
Yes.
Definitely.
Go USA.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be cool.
That's great.
Well, there's good things in your future, man. If you continue to do what you're doing right now, yeah, you're going to be right up there with the rest for sure.
Yeah. It's
it
all
up.
there for you. So, yeah, great goals, man. Hope
Yes,
you
indeed.
see you win a gold medal out there.
It's going to be in the Olympics, man, and you're going to be up on the podium getting that gold medal. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
It'll be fun in Spain. It'll definitely be a fun time. You'll enjoy it.
Going to Spain must be nice. so Koji, we're picking on you here, but I want to tell you that we are so grateful you took the time out to speak to us about your game in foosball and your passion for the sport. It's how we grow the sport is with people just like you, and we hope that you continue to be an ambassador for this the sport as you grow older and emulate the best and be one of the best very, very soon.
Yeah. thank you for having me too.
Sure.
We appreciate it, Koji. Definitely.
And the door is always open. So if there's anything you ever want to tell us about, or you want to bring us up to speed on how you're doing, by all means, let us know. We'll get you back on to Foosball Radio. So Koji's been talking to us from Texas on Foosball Radio, and we're looking forward to many more conversations in the future. Thanks again, Koji, for being with us. It's Foosball Radio, and we are on with Melody Ybarra from Texas. Now, Melody, the reason we were talking to you today, first of all, is because this episode is called The Next Generation.
Telling the story of foosball, one player at a time. Foosball
16
Radio.
Yeah, 16. He'll be 17 next month.
Wow, that's amazing. And he's becoming quite the star on the foosball scene. So first of all, when it comes to you as an individual, do you play foosball?
I do now.
Okay.
I didn't before he got, he kind of pulled me into it, I guess. Cause,
Sucked you in, huh?
We were completely out of the loop for, as parents, we didn't know anything about competitive foosball until Warren Van Landingham and Karen Lamano, they came over. Their daughter had played soccer with my daughter, and my husband coached their soccer team. And they were over for a team soccer party, and they saw we had this old, well, it wasn't that old, but it was like a recreational foosball table that my in-laws had given us. And, they kind of explained, we know a little thing about this game, and we know a little bit about this game, and there's this whole other world of tournament table soccer. And I was like, what are you talking about? This is just a game people play in their house. Right?
Sure.
And then, they kind of told us that about Texas State, the tournament Memorial Day weekend up here in Dallas. And so we went to that, and I think Koji was probably, he must have been like 13 or 14. And,
really?
He was hooked after he went there and saw, how cool it was, because he had seen it. He had seen his grandpa play before, and he played with my dad. But we had no idea there was like this whole competitive world. And then after a couple years of us going to that Texas State tournament, every year afterwards, he was, bugging me. We need to get a table. We need to get a real table.
So
I was like, well, we have a table, and these tables are $1,000.
Right.
Yeah, they are
not
expensive.
willing to put in that investment,
Sure.
But yeah, he kept on us, after a couple of years. I was like, okay, well, he really likes it. Let's see if we can get a table. And then we got a used one. And then,
did you get a tornado?
And then we got a tornado.
Sure. Nice.
Yeah, one of the local players was getting rid of his, and we picked it up used, and then we got rid of that junky one. He always called it junky. It was not a tornado. It was just some, a off-brand, home model foosball table. But yeah, after getting the table and then him practicing, then Warren kind of told us about the local DYP tournament, and then we started going to that, and it's at a pool hall, foosball tournament place, and then after weeks of us going to that, or months, I don't know, then I would just take him and he would just play, and then we'd leave. And then after, months of doing that, I was like, I think I can play, but I didn't really know that.
Then you were bitten by the bug.
It happens. And so now, are you playing every week as of now?
Yeah, I was back, every week that we can. They have a couple of tournaments a week here in Dallas. They have one on Tuesdays and one on Fridays, and definitely we like to go to the one on Fridays. And if we can make it on Tuesday, we'll come on Tuesday too.
Sure. Well, that's great. That's dedication right there.
Yeah.
The local promoters are really good here in Dallas. They do a really fun system too. It's not like a 2 and out, so like beginners like me can get in, and really,
that's great.
You get some matches, so you get your money's worth when you go. It's kind of fun.
Great.
So when practice time comes at home, do you guys practice together? What's the deal? What's the routine?
For a long time, I would just block Koji because I didn't know how to play the game. So I just sit there, shuffling guys in front of the goal, and he's working on a shot. And then, he practices every single day, that he can. Because for a while, we had to hide the foosballs because he was playing too much. And
the grades were
not doing his
suffering.
homework.
Yes,
Yeah,
we've heard that.
Yeah. But then,
But
that
Mom,
was that was when we first got the table. Yeah, he was kind of overdoing it, I think. But
Well,
there had to be rules. You can't play because that table is so loud. That metal.
Yeah.
That's what keeps you coming back, though. That noise.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, it's
addiction.
kind of like a Pavlov, instinct when you get the goal. It makes that ping sound.
Yep. So, when you think about this, technically speaking, most parents in your situation with a 16-year-old are, really trying to figure out a way to get them to put the phone down. Whereas you don't seem to have that problem.
No, yeah, you're right. We don't have an electronics problem too bad at our house because for a long time we didn't have cable TV or a TV, and we still don't have cable TV. So my kids aren't fortunately, they're not hooked on their electronics.
Good, that's great.
Their phones, their video games. Neither one of them. They're both active, and
that's
I have
great.
a 9-year-old daughter, and she's competitive soccer, gymnastics. They both do soccer, and they like to be outdoors. And if it wasn't foosball, before foosball, it was ping pong, and before ping pong it was like Rubik's Cube. He was always into something like that he could get
use his
fast
hands
at and get good at.
Trying to master everything.
That's great.
Yeah, I guess we're kind of weird like that here.
That's not weird.
No, not weird at all.
That's great.
And after speaking to your son Koji, we see there's great results because he's a highly intelligent 16-year-old.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't tell him that.
Well, unfortunately, he's going to hear it.
Too late. Can't take that back.
Yeah.
No, it's we are so happy that you took the time to speak to us. If there's anything else that we can do for you as a group, Foosball Radio is we always have an open door policy for you. So feel free to contact us, and we'd love to have you back on the air.
Oh, thanks, guys. I totally appreciate it. Yeah.
Excellent.
Sounds
That'd be
great.
And Melanie, enjoy the warm weather because we're not.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's so warm here. There's still mosquitoes. It's awful. I wish it would just get a little bit colder.
Those aren't mosquitoes down in Texas. Those are birds.
Yeah, I know. Giant.
So, Melody, thank you again for taking the time to speak to us. We are so grateful for your time, and we look forward to meeting you in person someday. And on our phrase, and we always end it the same way: see you on the table.
Telling the story of foosball, one player at a time. Foosball Radio.
Hey there, it's Tom Robinson, executive producer and co-host of Foosball Radio, the ultimate foosball podcast. We truly hope you're enjoying the fruits of our labor. We are doing this because of the love and passion for the sport. Speaking of which, we're now offering a limited number of sponsor slots. Tailored to your foosball-based business, we can make you a member of our team. For more information on how to sponsor Foosball Radio, contact us at info@foosballradio.com. Let's work together to build foosball and the passion for the sport. That's info@foosballradio.com. It's Foosball Radio. I'm Tom Robinson with Nino DeJohn and Chuck Dooley, and we are celebrating our second episode. This episode is entitled The Next Generation. And so we've been chatting with some of the up-and-coming stars of the foosball sports. That includes Hannah Yager. Now, Hannah is joining us on microphone right now. So, Hannah, just give us an idea. How long have you been playing foosball?
2.5, 3 years.
2.5, 3 years, okay. And you're how old?
13.
13. So, yeah, definitely a rising star. So, give me an idea. When was the first time you saw a foosball table?
My stepdad, went up to trick shots like every week, and then he would come home and play, and I would just, watch him, and then my brother started playing, and I just kind of caught on with him.
Now, you're playing on a regular basis. Now, I understand you with the family have been touring. So, how do you feel about getting on the road and touring in different places? Do you like it?
Yeah, but we travel by plane most of the time.
Right. So what's your favorite tour so far?
Probably Kentucky. Worlds.
Kentucky, the Worlds, right. And how did you do in your last competition there?
Pretty good. we got second in junior doubles I played with Kyler, and then in beginner doubles we were king seat, and then unfortunately we got double dipped and got second.
I saw that. In fact, I watched that. That was an amazing match.
It's a great match.
Yeah.
So you got second place in 2 events?
At the Worlds.
Yes,
Wow.
sadly. Yeah.
That's pretty
not
impressive.
sadly.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for playing 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't achieved anything close to that, and I've been at this since 1974. That's pretty amazing. So don't diminish your achievements. So when it comes to your practice routine, just give me an idea. What's going on? Do you do this every day?
My parents are separated, so when I'm at my mom's house, I practice, but my dad doesn't have a table.
Got it. Okay. So what do you say, a couple times a week then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your style of play? Do you have anybody that you imitate?
I like Todd LaFredo because he shoots my shot.
You shoot his shot, or
he shots both.
So you've been watching Todd play for a while?
Yeah. Recently in open mixed, I think I played against him, and I was just kind of watching him play and stuff.
Right. So you're learning a lot just from playing these incredible players. So is Todd one of your favorites?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Tony too.
Yeah,
Both
Tony.
good choices.
Yeah.
For sure.
You can't go wrong with those two choices for sure.
Ringers.
Cool. So what would you like to achieve in that period of time? Let's say even the next 5 years. What would you like to do?
Probably get a little bit of a higher rank in the game and then win a couple things. And I'm not looking for anything like crazy,
Couple titles.
But yeah.
Yeah. Being very humble, by the way, which is a good way.
Now you've already got quite a few trophies, I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a lot of pictures of you holding some metal.
Yeah.
So you've accomplished a lot already, haven't you?
Mhm.
You still want to accomplish more?
Yes. Yeah.
That's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like the competition too.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing quite like that, huh? So when it comes to playing doubles, let's say, what position do you prefer to play?
I used to like goalie a lot more because I was insecure about my forward, but lately I've gotten a lot better at it, and I can play both.
Your forward game was always pretty good. You just lacked a little confidence, and now I think you've come over that hump.
Yeah, you had a great last tournament in Pennsylvania, playing front.
And now you're getting a reputation as a front player. That's good.
That's great.
Yeah. Hey, I'll play goalie anytime you'd like me to. Not that you'd want to play necessarily with me. That's okay. So the other thing I wanted to ask you too, because we're talking about the women of foosball very soon. What female or women players do you look up to?
Liz Hill definitely, and then maybe Jackie Hahn or something like that.
Okay.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Have you had a chance to play with them?
In women's open singles, I played against Liz Hill, and I took her to 4-4 both games, but she ended up beating me.
Wow, 4-4. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great.
I played against Kristen Grogan too, and I took her to 4-4 both games.
Wow.
But she won.
That's intense.
Now these are people that have been playing a lot more than 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That's a great accomplishment.
Yeah, keep it up, right? So what do those ladies say to you? Do they have advice for you?
Sometimes they just tell me to slow down and like try and think about what I do before I do it, because sometimes I like start to rush to just get that point and stuff.
Sure. Understood. It's, that's sage advice, of course, for any player, correct?
That's very common, actually, with most rookie players. They just want to rush it, and it's kind of addicting when you shoot those quick shots. You want to keep doing it, but
in the heat of the moment, you're battling.
Yeah.
So what's on the horizon here? What's the next big tournament you're going to go to?
I'd say Hall of Fame, right? Yeah.
Hall of Fame in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Have you been there before?
Yes.
Aha. What do you think of Vegas?
It's super cool, except for the weird people on the side of the street.
Oh, yeah, I get that. No, Vegas has its own appeal, and certainly it's more of a family destination these days. No question. Now, I understand you played on Team USA. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Just give us an idea what that was like.
It was in Germany, and the competition was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Kind of underestimated it a little bit.
Okay.
And there was a bunch of different tables that I didn't really know about. I mean, I knew about them, but I had no idea how to play on them, and it was pretty hard. But we only played in a couple of like events, so I just kind of got the feel of it and stuff.
So pretty intense competition, huh?
Yeah, they were really good.
And did you meet a lot of women players there too?
Yeah, just the ones that actually compete in the U.S. and stuff.
No, a whole different vibe in Europe, right?
Yeah.
And so are you still on Team USA? You going to be going again?
I hope so.
Okay. Yeah.
I hope so too.
Yeah, fingers crossed, right?
Where's the next one?
It's in Murcia, Spain.
Whoa.
Very cool. Now, I'm curious about this because, of course, you're 13. You're going through middle school at this point. So your friends, the people that you hang out with, your crew, what do they think about your foosball?
I'd mention it a lot, and they just kind of look at me weird. But then there's other people that are like, oh, that's really cool. And like when they come over, they're like, oh, we should play that game downstairs on the table and stuff.
Okay.
Some of them actually want to learn how to play, but they just don't really come over that often.
I got it. Yeah. So you thought about maybe getting a table in school?
There's these dances that go on for like holidays and stuff, and then they have tables, but they're like not that good. And we've mentioned to the school many times that we can start like a club or something, and they just kind of put it down every time.
So I got to wonder how this is going to affect dating in the future when when you're 25 and you're dating. How foosball is going to affect that?
I don't think it will. I think it'll be fine.
How many guys want to date a girl who can beat them on the table, right?
That's right. You could teach them. You guys can be a team.
And she is allowed to date at 25 or 30?
Probably 30.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, Hannah, it's really cool of you to take some time out to talk to us about foosball. Very cool. Thanks for being with us. Before you go, you gotta do something for us. You gotta say this, okay? I'm Hannah Yager, and I listen to Foosball Radio.
I'm Hannah Yager, and I listen to Foosball Radio.
Telling the story of foosball, one player at a time. Foosball Radio.
It's Foosball Radio, and I'm Tom Robinson with Nino DiJohn and Chuck Dooley, and we are having a great episode as we are discussing the next generation. These are the rising stars of foosball, those who are going to maintain this sport for the foreseeable future, shall we say. And we're quite honored to have not only one of our fellow 518 Foosers with us, but also the #1 junior division player in America. His name is Sam DiJohn. Hey, Sam.
Hi.
Thanks for being with us, man.
Welcome.
So I understand you have someone you're related to on microphone with us.
Yeah, my dad, Nino DiJohn.
Aha. So give us some background here as far as your career as a foosball player. How many years have you been playing?
I've been playing for like 2.5.
2.5. Now, Hannah told us the same thing about 2.5 years. Now, you guys have both come a long way in a very short period of time. Do you practice every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some days I might not practice, but half of the days are usual. I practice.
And how much time in a day do you spend on the table?
Like 30 minutes down here.
30 minutes, okay. And you have 3 tables, I see. You've got Bonzini, you've got Tornado, you've got Lionheart. What's your favorite table to play on?
Tornado.
Okay, yeah.
Good choice.
So your career has been really accelerating. So just give us an idea. When was the last time you were at a major tournament?
My last big tournament was at World, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Or our Smashdown, quote.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
And how'd you do in Pennsylvania?
I won rookie doubles, rookie singles.
Rookie doubles and singles?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And you were playing against adults in the rookie division, correct?
Yes.
And how do the adults feel when you beat them?
Probably embarrassed.
So, Sam, for those who haven't seen you play, you stand on a box, correct?
Yes, stool.
Okay, correct. Gotcha. A stool that allows you to see the top of the table. And so how much more time do you think you'll be using that box?
About, I want to get off of it as soon as I can. Like maybe, or like 11 and a half.
Okay.
And 11 and a half?
I need to get taller.
We're going to have to put you on a stretch machine.
I'm short.
You know what's going to happen, right? There's something called the growth spurt. You're going to hit like a specific age, and all of a sudden you're going to grow like 6 inches in a couple of weeks. So yeah, that'll happen very soon. So what's the tournament that in your mind right now? What was the best tournament you ever went to?
It's gotta be my favorite is Colorado. Are you talking like the best tournament? My favorite.
Your favorite, of course.
Oh, Colorado.
Colorado, and why?
Just because
competition level is pretty fierce there.
Right.
They run a good tournament there too, don't they?
Yeah, they run a good tournament.
So, when it comes to competition, especially in your age group. And of course, there's lots of pro players out there, but people who are, let's say, in the teen years or up-and-coming stars, who's the biggest competition for you right now?
Yeah, it's got to be, I always have trouble with, like Logan, Sale, Koji, but I beat them half of the time I play them.
Okay, half the time. But you're ranked number 1 in the junior division? Wow. That's intense. Now, what do you have to do in order to keep that title?
Keep winning.
Yeah.
There you go.
Love that.
Good attitude.
What's your goals? Do you have any goals coming up?
I have a few goals. It's to become an expert by the end of the year as well. I have to
that would be for 2018, you mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a huge goal.
That's a big jump from rookie to expert.
Yeah.
It's like a dream I have. There's another one, a dream I have.
Okay.
What's your dream?
I want to go on America's Got Talent and play all the judges in a game.
Yes,
that would be awesome.
I love that. That's a great idea. Let's see if we can make that happen.
That would be great.
Yeah. Would you play him on Tornado?
Yeah.
Of course. So you play him like you by yourself play 2 of the judges at once? I love that. That is so cool. You got to have dreams, man.
That's
it. Got to have goals. Yeah. Okay, there's always a surprise waiting around the corner, no matter who you might be.
That's right.
Yeah, very cool. So Sam, your next big competition, what's that?
It's Colorado State.
Oh, so Colorado is coming up. Yeah, okay. So who's your favorite player?
Favorite player? Well, I have one under the front and one at the back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Tony in the front and Ryan in the back. Because I base my goalie off of him.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
They're both phenomenal players. Here's hoping that you get a chance to play with them or against them in that combination. That'd be kind of cool.
I played against Tony and Ryan.
You have? Okay.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm sure you crushed them, right?
Yeah.
So they're just another player, right?
That's right.
Just another player. That's
play hard.
Yep. So Sam, I think we've tortured you long enough, huh?
No, I guess.
Yeah. So one more thing before you go. What I'd like you to do is just repeat after me. I'm Sam DiJohn.
I'm Sam DiJohn.
And I listen to Foosball Radio.
And I listen to Foosball Radio.
Let's introduce Kyler LaRue. So Kyler, welcome.
Hello.
So Kyler, where are you from?
I'm from Schenectady, New York.
Schenectady, New York. So what is your current age?
I'm 14.
And how long have you been playing foosball?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half, really?
Almost 2.
No kidding. So what do you think so far?
I can't get off the table. It's just the only thing I ever want to do, really.
Oh, really? You become addicted?
Basically.
Wow. So have you played a lot of tournaments?
Yeah, I've been to Maryland, Kentucky, and I went to New York States a couple of times.
No doubt. So how well have you done so far? What's your best showing?
I got second in beginner doubles, and I'm doing pretty well. In Maryland, I got third in beginner singles and beginner doubles.
Nice. This is after a year and a half, 2 years of playing?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. So, what exactly do you want to do next? What's your next goal?
I want to get first in Worlds.
Yeah, nice. Now there's a goal for you. Fantastic. Excellent. Well, dude, it's great to have you on the podcast today.
Great to be here.
Hi, I'm Tom Robinson, executive producer and co-host of Foosball Radio. The team and I are thrilled you're taking the time to listen to the ultimate foosball podcast. Promoting the sport and telling the story of foosball one player at a time is our mission. Truth be told, we can't go it alone. So we need your feedback and input. Please take the time to email us with your thoughts, ideas, and critiques. Yep, we can take it. We'll share your feedback on future episodes of Foosball Radio, the ultimate foosball podcast. Email us now at info@foosballradio.com. Welcome back to Foosball Radio, Episode 2, all about the next generation, and we want to thank all our guests for taking the time to speak to us on Foosball Radio about this rising star syndrome. We've got a lot of new players out there who come up and coming, and of course there are promoters like John O'Brien and Mark Drollette who are working very hard to get this game into school systems, which is really the solution here, guys, when it comes to developing foosball for the future. And we really appreciate those guys taking the time to speak to us on Foosball Radio. So before we go, we have some things to talk about. First of all, Chuck, I understand that there's some great tournaments coming up in the very, very near future that you'd like to discuss. What do you have for us?
Well, first of all, Tom, there's always great tournaments coming up. But,
yes.
What I have here is just for the month of November.
Okay.
Now, and I went to the schedule at foosball.com, which is maintained by Ben Kennan out of Texas. He does a great job of, keeping people aware of all the tournaments that are in the United States.
Okay.
And in November, on November 9th through 11th, we have Colorado States. And 15th through 18th, we have Louisiana States. 22nd through 25th, North Carolina States.
Wow. That's one right after the other.
Yeah, I mean, November's pretty full in the United States. But on top of that, if you go to the ITSF website,
okay,
there's a lot of international tournaments going on. We have the Austrian Nationals, November 9th through 11th. The Master Series in France is the 10th through 11th.
That'll be a biggie.
China Table Soccer Open, the 16th through 18th.
And that's going to be happening in what part of China, does it say?
I didn't see the locale. I didn't look at every flyer. But
gotcha.
The Peru Pro Tour is the 16th through 18th. The Czech Open, the 17th through 18th.
Czechoslovakia,
and these are all in the month of November.
Yeah.
The Tokyo Open, 23rd through 25th. The Australian Nationals, the 24th through 25th. Now, we may not get all of the tournaments here, but this is just a good sampling of what's happening in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
And if anybody out there has a tournament that they want us to mention, feel free. I mean, send us the info at foosballradio.com email.
Yep, info at foosballradio.com.
Right.
Yep,
Okay,
info at foosballradio.com is the email. And by all means, not just the information about your club, but what tournaments you've got coming up in the next year.
Big ones, small ones, whatever you have going on.
We want to give you a voice, and if you would like to join us sometime and talk about your tournament, also contact us and let us know what you'd like to do, because we certainly want to give you a voice on Foosball Radio when it comes to drawing people out to your tournament, for sure. Now, with that said, Turkey Day is coming up, so we kind of need to put in a bit of a shameless plug here for the 518 Foosball Tournament, which is the Thanksgiving Open, which is happening Thanksgiving weekend. Now, let's see, guys, that's refresh my memory here. It's January, November
24th.
It's a Saturday.
Yep. 24th.
And that starts at
10 o'clock is juniors.
Okay.
Starts at 10.
11 o'clock is the amateurs. Noon is the DYP.
Got it.
I believe it's 2 o'clock. We do open singles.
Yep. And 5 o'clock is open doubles.
Awesome. And you guys are the two really responsible for this Smashdown to continue as it has, and it's been growing ever since you guys took it over. And here's the thing. It happens at a place called Trick Shot Billiards and Wicked, which is their nightclub now. But they're on Route 9 in Clifton Park, New York. And if you want more information about this as well, you can visit our website or email us at info@foosballradio.com.
Well, anything they want to find out about 518 Foosball, they can go to our Facebook page, 518 Foosball.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Join the group.
All the tournament information, everything is there.
Excellent. Yeah. Very good. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on the table. That seems to be our catchphrase now, right? See you on the table. But yeah, so again, thank you so much for tuning in for episode 2. It's called The Next Generation. And if you've listened to this podcast and you really dig it, turn your friends on, man. Turn on your friends, your family. Let them know about this, because we are in this to stay, and we're looking forward to a lot of episodes to come. Again, my name is Tom. I'm with Nino and Chuck. Thank you so much for tuning in to Foosball Radio, the ultimate foosball podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the table.